Hello, today we'll be talking about the 3D viewer basics involved in the MemoriaMind AI-driven 3D model generation monument builder that we've created. So let's get right down to it. To add a 3D model to the scene, all you have to do is click this Add to Scene button on the 3D model inline viewer card. And there you can see that it's been added to the scene. Now, once it's been added, we can adjust the size as needed by clicking and dragging on these corners. We can move the 3D object around as needed. We can rotate it as well as needed. So you can imagine you can add multiple different 3D objects to the same scene. And uh, what we've built here is a system of undos and redos. So if you made a change that you didn't like that you want to undo, you can just click the back arrow. And then to redo it, you just click the front arrow. So let's say you want to measure the actual size of these monuments. One thing that you can do that's useful is show the 3D placement marker. So the 3D placement marker basically can be sized as needed, but it can be used to measure the monuments, and you can adjust the pitch, yaw, roll, elevation to ensure that everything's being displayed properly and that you're able to measure a particular edge or side of the monument. So to display the 3D placement marker, you just click the show marker button, and then to hide it, you just click that again. Uh, Besides that, let's talk about, um, let's say you want to view the 3D monuments in the actual scene. One thing that we've added is native integration with the Google Maps API. So by clicking this pin icon, it'll open a 3D viewer pane that you can search for a particular address. So let's say we want to place this in a particular cemetery. We can type in an address, go to that location, and then just simply drop a pin on that site, and it captures the latitude and longitude information of that site. We click submit, and it loads into that site. And here you see the 3D monuments are displayed on the new terrain as needed. And you can see there's, you know, tombstones in the background, there's a crypt in the background, there's trees all around. So you're basically able to really finely adjust and see a real world visualization of the monuments in actual a specified location. So let's also talk about how to capture this. So let's say you want to capture an image of this and alter that image in the chat. One thing you can do is you can explicitly say, open this film icon. It opens this 3D capture pane and click the capture button. And that's going to capture the scene. And once it's captured, you can upload that to the chat history as an image, and it'll say uploading. And once it's completed, it will upload to the chat history. And all of the operations that are available to any other image in the chat history are also available to this image that we've just captured within the 3D viewer. And you can also notice that the 3D global toolbar is not displayed when we capture, so it just captures what's in the scene and not extraneous details. So we'll wait until that finishes capturing, and I'll show you that it loads in the scene. And you can see here that it's processing. And now the upload is complete. And here we see it in the chat history. So now, we can perform all sorts of operations that we'd like to do to ensure that, we can make this scene look realistic or edit it in some way. But that's basically the basics of the 3D viewer. So, you have this 3D global toolbar, um, and you can manipulate what's in here based on that. There's also lighting functionality, which you can control the intensity and brightness of the light. You can control the sun's elevation, and it changes how the shadow is displayed. You can control the sun azimuth, and you can also control different like factors of the sky. So we can show this is what midday looks like, maybe sunrise. You can see the sky is now got this orange haze because it's in the morning. Sunset, it's kind of reddish, right? Because that's the color of the when the sun sets. And you can also show what it's like at overcast when it's cloudy, as well as at night when it's very, very dark. So that's basically the basics of the 3D viewer. Um, that's all.